Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, and the topic of today's video is your greatest sacrifice. We are talking of course about narcissism today, and I have two stories for you before I resolve the intrinsic question of what your biggest sacrifice in any and every dealing that you have with narcissists is. So story number one. There is a man named Jack. Jack is 33 years old. He's self-employed and he has been building his company in financial consulting services. And he's been very successful at this, and he's currently happily dating what looks like a sound and healthy and good woman. Story number two. There's a woman named Betty. Betty is 42 years of age. Betty is also self-employed. She has two kids, a daughter of 13 and a son of 11. Her marriage has its ups and downs. She's been married for 14-ish years, and she would still describe it to this day as most of the time fulfilling when they manage to get over the downs and live in the ups. That could be it, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the end of the story, the end of today's video. But it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, and there's a reason behind this. Because this is not what happened to Jack, and this is not what happened to Betty. There's a man named Jack. Jack is 33 years old. He's unhappy in a 9-to-5 job, works extra hours for which he gets paid very little. The demand for him to work extra is high. He never mustered the courage to start his own business. He is as a user on OnlyFans, and he pays for fake affection from some women out there because he cannot seem to hold a girlfriend in his life. Jack has been diminished by narcissists since his birth. He met his first one in the delivery room, his mother to be precise. Over time, when friends came into his life, those types of friendships were modeled after what he experienced back at home, and there were a lot of especially covert narcissists in his life. And still are. He never spotted any of it. And this extended to colleagues, bosses, the work environment, and relationships. Back to story number two. This is not what happened to Betty. There is a woman named Betty. She's 42 years of age. She is self-employed, and she started dating a grandiose narcissist when she was 25 for the duration of approximately 8 years. When she finally managed in her early 30s to move out of this relationship, Betty went to therapy and made good progress with healing. She took on a coach after 1.5 years of therapy, in addition to the therapist. In a privately organized help group dedicated to survivors of narcissistic abuse, she found a new boyfriend. His name is William. William is, I think he's about her age. William obviously needed help, and he, like the grandiose narcissist before, had arguments ready to delay having children. So does William. William's train of thought is that once he's healthy, in order to be a good father, they will certainly have children. And coming from a childless relationship with the grandiose narcissist of the relationship duration of 8 years, she's now together with William. And, well, William is a covert narcissist. The woman named Betty, at 42 years of age, is unlikely to have children of her own. So what are we supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen? What are these recipients of narcissistic abuse to do? What are you to do? What was I to do? To answer the question of today's video, your greatest sacrifice, Jack's greatest sacrifice, William's greatest sacrifice, yours and mine, is summed up by a single word: potential. We sacrifice potential. By dealing with narcissists in our lives, especially those that are closest to us, like in a relationship or within the family. Are we victims? Are we to solely blame the narcissists? I hate the term victim, because it relinquishes any and every responsibility and blame and responsibility and agency, that's the word. So yes, all that happened. Yes, all in your life that happened to you. All that happened to me happened to me. Absolutely correct. And still, we cannot stop moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Like a character in Game of Thrones once said, his name was Bloodraven, he gifted sort of a flashback sight to a different character, almost living through certain eras and time frames in the past. Bloodraven told that young boy, the ink is dry. The ink is dry. And so it is in your life, and so is it in mine. The ink is dry. There is no magical key to turn back time and change whatever happened, whatever we allowed to happen, whatever they robbed us of, our potential. This is the greatest sacrifice when dealing with narcissists. That is why I wish for you to get rid of as many as possible and as permanently as possible. Because all that energy that you are being drained of can go somewhere else, towards something very productive, to a fulfilling life. Two simple words that constitute a titanic task for you, ladies and gentlemen, as it has and had for me. Radical acceptance. Radical acceptance that you have been robbed of potential and that you allowed yourself to be robbed of potential. The ink is dry. There will be separate videos regarding radical acceptance because it is one of the most important strategies and thought patterns and ways of life to not only to survive but to thrive after having experienced narcissistic abuse for as long as we have. So this is what I want you to remember, especially like I have over the course of coaching clients, because this is something I see every single time. The sacrifice is potential. What could have been different in their lives if had they only spotted it sooner. But don't be too hard on yourself, because I mean, you're here right now. And had you been able to spot it sooner, you would have. And you might not even be here right now, but in 30 years, and realized it then, or not at all. But you're here, and that is a good thing, because that shows yourself that you're actually in the process of wanting to see and wanting to avoid losing any more potential. Congratulations to you on your decision to move forward. Be your own hero. Be your own heroine, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.